All right, we're glad to have you back. Nigeria's National Assembly will resume plenary today after more than 2 months of being away. Lawmakers had adjourned plenary on July the 24th to go on recess and resume on September the 25th.
Yeah, but few days to resumption date, the legislators further shifted the date for resumption until October the 9th. Lots of bills, including INEC's 2019 election budget, were left hanging while lawmakers vacationed. The leadership of the National Assembly also made use of break to defect from the party on whose platform they won their seats, the All Progressives Congress, to the opposition People's Democratic Party. There is palpable anxiety that today's plenary will be a showdown between APC and PDP lawmakers, as APC legislators might make moves to impeach Senate President Bukola Saraki and House Speaker Yakubu Dogara.
Yes, indeed. And how will it play by the end of today? Will it be a victory for the APC, the PDP, or perhaps a victory for democracy? Well, we have international lawyer Femi Aino with us in the studio. Good morning. Good to see you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Are you expecting a showdown today? Why should there even be a showdown to start with?
What I'm expecting, I think the session is going to be victorious at the beginning. But at the end of the day, the question remains, is that what Nigerians are looking for? There is no need for this unnecessary power tussle. There is no need for grandstanding, and there is no need for breakdown of law and order. And Senate President Saraki should know that he's not the friend of the police. And if there's a breakdown of law and order in the Senate, there's a possibility the police will come and said, look, we have a duty under the Constitution to make sure that there is no breakdown of law and order. And in which case, they might end up and said, look, we're going to seal up this place because these people, they are getting into unnecessary fiscal. So what I'm trying to say is this. There are a lot of issues on the table. And this issue about whether we remove Saraki or this or that is neither here or there. If you can tolerate him for this long, he has only a few months left. Why don't we? Nigerians need food. Nigeria wants their business to thrive. People are looking for jobs. Those are the bigger issues. And if you look at it on the flip side, there is election around the corner. Yeah. There are so many issues on the menu. Rather than whether Saraki is this, Saraki is that. I think by now they should put that behind them. But having said that, I know they are quite, Saraki is somebody, is a cat with 9 lives. If you try to get rid of him this way, you don't succeed, try another. And he has a way of surviving all these plans. So I think there are people among the legislators who have scores to settle, like Senator Magege, who actually threatened that, look, as soon as we resume today, this will be an opportunity to get rid of him. And some of you, if you give yourself the benefit of hindsight, you will recall there was a time the man was suspended as well. So the people, so what will happen, what we will witness today, first of all, there will be that spirit of camaraderie, exchanging greetings, questions will be asked, did you win the primary in your state? How come the governor in your state could not appoint a successor? After all that, in the collegiate spirit, people will exchange greetings and then they will settle down. And what we expect, Saraki will welcome the members back to the Senate. He will now lay out the issues on the table. No doubt some people are looking at the rule book so that they can say, look, under this and that, there's an issue pending. So, it's going to be a day of tantrum.
On the other hand, APC that has majority, this is still the majority party one way or the other.
About 56.
With APC senators pushing for the issue of impeachment and all of that, doesn't, in the eyes of Nigerians, they seem to be distracting everyone from, it seems governance has shut down now and it's all about politics for the rest of the months coming.
And that's the irony, because we are being shortchanged with this unnecessary bickering, which is going on here and there. People need food, people need job, people need security. You understand me? And those who are working, there are people you can classify as working poor, because as soon as they get their wages, pay their children's school fees, there is nothing left. These are, you see, there are a lot of issues they need to look at. This unnecessary distraction, whether Saraki should be removed, whether this person should still be the the principal members of the senators, they are neither here or there. Let us just face it's an unnecessary distraction. And, you know, this has been going on for too long. Nigerians want legislators who will sit down and work with the executive so that we can move the country forward. And at the end of the day, look, government, any government, whether APC, PDP, ADC, and what have you, will be remembered for being good or bad. And for years to come, Nigeria will still be talking about this Senate.
But isn't that where the problem is? We seem to have very short memory when it comes to how people have conducted themselves in the political space. That we always give them another opportunity to, you know.
Second back to Sherry. I take your point, but let me invite you to take my point.
Yes.
The irony of our nation is that we have the quick to forget mentality. Sometimes people will have been charged to court, we will still re-elect them. Some of them have a criminal record, criminal background, we will still re-elect them. But the point which I'm making is this: we can't continue this way. It is high time we sit down and send a powerful message that, look, if you are in the Senate for 1 year or the other and you didn't perform, if you come back again, we will send you packing. And don't forget, some states, they are doing that anyway, because you will recall, at the end of the day, you have a situation whereby some of these legislators, at the end of the day, you have a situation whereby some of these legislators are not going to come back to the House. You have a situation.
Was it really because their people, their constituents believe that they did not perform? Or is it a matter of, look, you have done your bit 4 years, it's another person's turn as a way of rewarding somebody
I can read your lips. Well, I think it's, it's not as clear-cut as you put it, because sometimes money is at play. That is one. Secondly, it is in some cases, it is just because you didn't perform, the people don't want you to come back. That is there. But in other cases, this idea of whether we should give somebody else the opportunity or not, are we playing? You see, let me just tell you this, because I have a first-hand experience of some of these things. If you go out on the field, Nigeria is not playing through democracy. What we are playing is what you call extortionate politics, whereby people are trying to see what they can get, either as an individual or as a group. So once they realize they can't get it as an individual, they go and form a group, and they use that group as a bargaining chip to get what, sometimes in other climes, some people might call it practical politics. But let me just tell you, it is nothing but what you can call an extortionate form of politics, where people are just trying to, look, if you come out there, you leave this station, you leave your studio and go out and tell them that you want to be a councillor. Bet me and you, before you walk to the CMD road, you will see the number of people who will be calling you honorable. Whether, if you don't, you are yet to obtain. Do you understand me? So, and why they are calling you honorable, they are looking for what they can get from you. That is the extortionate politics we are talking about. And how can you move a country forward where people are looking for what they can get? And in any case, they are using you as an aspirant to substitute for the failure of government. It is not you as a senator to go and pay their children's school fees. Somebody has been endowed with that responsibility. When that person fails, the next thing they will do is to look at you. And that is causing all sorts of problems.
All right. Some of the issues before the Senate, as they resume, is the issues, some of the issues pending. The issue of INEC, the budget for INEC is there, the electoral amendment bill. Now, the electoral amendment bill has gone to the presidency and returned and gone again and returned and gone again and returned. At this time, we're hearing that one way or the other, the National Assembly might want to veto the president.
Well, if they have to veto the president, so let it be, because we cannot. No, I'll tell you why. You see, what is ahead of us is more important than power tussle. We have an election which is coming, and we need a government that will be able to live up to expectation. We need a government that will be able to promise and deliver. We need a government that will take the constitutional responsibility seriously. However, if the only way we can get that government is to overrule the president, I will support that. But having said that, that has to be done within the constitutional provisions. And the next thing that is going to happen is this. Look, INEC there is an issue which is still pending. Apart from the Electoral Act, the amendment to the Electoral Act, which has been going forward and backward, there is an issue about what the money to be spent for this election.
Yes, INEC funding,
you will recall there has been an
million.
issue about figures here and there. The committee, the INEC chairman,
and the issue of violence, which the National Assembly, the INEC committee has said, look, what the government needs to do is to resort to the social intervention funds to
do this.
to
You see,
to fund the INEC.
You see, those are the issues. Or do you want to conduct an election where INEC don't have the money just to buy even toilet roll for international observers? Do we want to conduct an election where we don't have enough, card reader or what you call it? So it is very important for this Senate to seize the opportunity of today when they wish with their resumption date and face the issues at hand. There are a lot of challenges. Look at let me just, on the flip side, the 2018 budget has been passed. The capital expenditure aspect of it, the borrowing aspect, is yet to be approved. In 2017, it was 65K to each 1 naira of the revenue. This year is likely to be 75K to 1 naira. You see, these are all the issues, and they are germane issues which they need to look at. It is not about whether Saraki defect from this or that. If you want to remove Saraki, go and look at the Constitution. Saraki is a legislator. If you want to remove him, there's a provision. It is not about whether this party has a majority or no majority.
But the reasons why the president returned the electoral bill, for example, the reasons he's put forward, the issues of typographical errors and stuff like that. Have you been able to look at his reasons? Do they hold any water at all?
Well, I think it goes beyond that, because at the end of the day, I think there's an issue about the sequence of an election too. I think
that was already taken care of.
I think that has been taken care of. At the same time, if there is an issue about typographical error, you see, those are very minute and mundane. You see, if there is an issue about typographical error, that is something that can easily be dealt with by a phone call. That's not, and they can easily amend and give you a new version. Is it not the case that even in your own organization, when the secretary brings a letter, there will be an error? You correct the error and send it back that, look, give me a revised version, and then you sign it and let the letters go out. You see, the system needs to
Unless, of course, it's a case of trying to buy time.
Well, that is one side of the argument. But you see, the system needs to be effective to be respected. This idea of unnecessary breaking bills going, which is supposed to be to become law, is moving from the legislator to the executive, going up and down. Time is not on your side. And if you are having fun, time flies.
All right. With the body language of the both political parties, the major political parties in the Senate, in the National Assembly, do you see the absence of harmony in the remaining part or the remaining life of the 8th Assembly?
And I wonder how that's going to impact on governance.
On those issues? Yes, I think I could see, it's quite obvious there's going to be a lot of bickerings here and there. But one thing I would tell the legislature is this, okay? We didn't vote for you so that you can fight Saraki. We didn't vote for you so that you can remove Akpabio or whatever. The reason why you are in the Senate, look at Section 4 of the Constitution, for good governance, peace, harmony in the society.
Unity.
That is the most important. So if there is an issue between the private interest and the public interest, you need to put it on a scale. And if you put it there, the public interest supersedes the private interest, because the private interest is your own interest. Yes. We are talking about the public interest, the life of 180 million Nigerians. They want job. They want education, quality education for their children. They want security. What is going on in this country? Those are the issues that we need to look at. And it is high time they put a new spectacle and look at everything there are.
Let's come back to the issue of INEC funding, which the INEC, the Senate Committee on INEC has said government should resort to the social intervention fund in order not to increase the 2018 budget expenditure framework already. Do you agree with the Senate on that one?
Look, the point is this. If recourse to the Social Intervention Fund will help Nigerians to elect a credible leader. If recourse to the Social Intervention Fund, we let INEC promise and deliver a free, credible, and fair election. Who cares? The most important issue is this. We don't want a situation whereby there is going to be a state of anarchy after an election. And the only way you can avoid that is for all participants to live up to expectation, whether INEC or International Observer, NGO, whatever. So the best thing is that, look, we need to move forward. We don't want things to get down unnecessarily. Yeah. And the only way you can do that, listen to dissenting views and try to make amendment and shift position so that we can move this country forward. Yeah. That's my take.
All right. We're still having, from the reports we're getting, there are still some rancor within various political parties at the primary level, at the state levels, and all of that. And it has to do with affecting some people who are senators and House of Rep members. Now, all those who contested, like for instance, in the People's Democratic Party, for instance, some of the political or presidential aspirants who just contested are given automatic tickets. Back in their homes, in their constituencies, some persons had already won those political, posts, as the case may be. What do you envisage? What do you see as a way of going forward in that regard when it comes to harmony and peace within political parties?
Well, if you want harmony and if you want peace, people should know that, look, power is transient and politics is dynamics, as some of them have put it. And the point is this: if there's rancor, you see, let me just tell you this. If there's one important thing which some of these political parties are not taking on board, you need to try as much as possible to ensure that matters don't get out of the door. Even in your own organization here, if somebody is not happy and they comes in, you need to try your best possible to make sure it doesn't get out of the door. Because somebody who is not happy will probably tell 10 people. Somebody who is happy with you will probably tell 6 people. So when you see people like that, what you need to do is to sit down with them and make sure. And what is happening within the context of all these political parties is just because the internal mechanism for recourse for people who are aggrieved, who are upset, it doesn't even work out. Because sometimes if you go for a primary and you are not happy, they will ask you to appeal to one committee with an appeal committee, so-called. But that appeal committee, what they are supposed to do is to review your complaint and review the whole process of processes. And then they can come up with a decision. You see, once you have that, you will ensure harmony.
Is that where the ruling party got it wrong, not being able to actually assuage the anxieties of people like Senator, the Senate President Bukola Saraki, Dogara too, and, of course, and all the other senators that actually decamp?
If you realize at the onset, it was a fight back that, look, if you want to go, you have no value, we don't do it. You see, you don't do that because by so doing, you are escalating. So what you need to do is to ensure there's an internal mechanism.
Okay. Well, Olufemi Aina, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.